So welcome back to Four Faces. Let's talk about what's going on in the boxing world, the money between Devin Haney and Regis WBC. If you looked at my other video that we did yesterday, you see that fight's happening today. You got that right. Today, Saturday, December 9th, 2023. And we're going to talk about that money. Because you know what? At the end of the day, these boxers, they don't do this for free. Yes, they want the championship. They want the accolades. They want the notoriety. Yes, but they also want to make sure that they're getting paid. Why? Because they sacrifice a lot. Just to be honest with that. So let's look at the numbers now. I know a lot of people, saying Devin Haney can't sell. He can't make, that he can't sell. That he's not a pay-per-view attraction. He's not a PPV. Like they saying that he really can't do numbers like someone like Tank. You know what I'm saying? Which we all know did numbers, or Mayweather, or some of the other great fighters. They saying he can't do those numbers. So let's look at reality. Because you know what? We could say what we want to say. We could put our opinion. But what we can't put opinion is the facts, right? Facts are facts. They're not opinions. So let's take a look at it. So what I did was I pulled it up. I pulled up the numbers. You got that right. So I went to the ticket sales. I went to where they selling the tickets for Devin Haney. I went straight to the source. And the source doesn't lie, because they're not going to sit and lie for Haney or Regis for that matter. They want to see, what's the numbers look like. So let's take a look at this. So if you look on the side of the chart here, on your left side, you see where it says price per ticket. And you can see right there that the tickets are selling between, $75 to $956. That's $956 being the highest. We do have here tickets. They had tickets early in the day that sold for exactly $57. So it looked like all those $57, the lower price tickets, are pretty much almost sold out, if not sold out. Let's take a look on the right hand side, and you can see some of the current seats that are available. So you got $82 available, $79. Like I said before, you got tickets $79, $78. So these are the tickets that tend to still be available. You can see here, you still got 208 listings. So the thing was, they were saying that Devin Haney is, this fight between Regis is sold out. And as you can see, it is not sold out. It's definitely not sold out. And let me just show you more proof of the package. So we're going to take a look at this right here in the middle. We're going to blow that up so you can all see. We're going to stretch that a little bit if you don't mind. Yeah, we're going to blow it up a little bit there. And you can see all this here and like a pinkish, purplish type of color. Like a purplish type of color. If you look on the bottom of the legend, it shows available. These are all the seats that are available. And there's quite a bit of seats. There's seats over this area. There's seats even next closer to the ring. There's seats outer area up here on top. You got some listings here. Here. You got some here. We got some here. All, as you can see, basically, there are availability everywhere. I mean, just look at it. It's literally everywhere there's some availability. Yes. And by the way, I'm being fair about it. Unavailable, which means these are the seats in gray that are sold out. So all these seats are sold out, but you can still see these over here is a lot of seats that are available right now. Some might make the argument that, the night is still young. Well, the night ain't young, right? And the day ain't that young. And it's now, I'm on the west side right now. Right, so it's different on the east side. So if you live on, depending on what side of the country you are, it's a little different in time zones, right? But nevertheless, the fight haven't occurred yet, and there's still time for people to buy tickets. With that being said, as you can see, as currently stand, there it is not. So you know what? Subscribe. We're gonna come back to this a little bit later on tonight, and we're gonna see exactly whether or not these seats sold out. Now, look at the numbers. You see that there are seats for 300, there are seats for 400, there are seats for 1,000. And I'm just going to do a quick comparison. If you look at Tank Davidson fight, his seats per seats was going over $10,000. Yeah, I'm going to say that number again for you. Tank Davidson seats was being sold for over $10,000 That's crazy, right? So the difference, the price, the money is definitely different. This is just facts, people. You don't have to hate the messenger, right? This is what it is. So definitely Tank seats. Haney and Regis seats are definitely was selling for much less. You're talking about $57 was the average price. You can see here, by the way, you see what says zones. This is what's available. You got 100 listings here. You got 82 available on the lower level. So, like I said before, 100 available on upper, 82 on the lower, 2 on the floor. You got 3 in the club site, 5 in the risers. So you can see there's definitely well over 200 seats available. And if you look on your right-hand side, once again, like I show you here, it says 208 listings. So there's a lot of seats still available. So what do all this mean? It means that at this point in time, by the way, today is Saturday, the 9th. The fight is happening today, later on tonight. Here's the thing. It's not sold out. That's just the facts. So you keep hearing this narrative that, oh yeah, the Haney fight is sold out. They have to get more seats available and all this nonsense. No, it's not sold out. It's definitely not sold out. I will say, though, that the fight seems interesting. And I gave you my analysis of this yesterday, so take a look at the other video. Please, if you don't agree with me, leave your comment below. I'm okay, good or bad. It's all right with me. You know what I'm saying? It's an interesting fight. It's going to be definitely going to be an interesting fight. Just to restate what I said before, I believe that my honest opinion, I think Regis is going to win. I think there's a great chance he's going to win because it just, Haney, now, don't get me wrong, Haney can win. I'm not saying Haney can't win. If Haney sticks out that jab all night and move and turn all day long and clinch when he gets close to Regis to keep him from throwing the punch, keep in mind Regis' arm reach is shorter than Haney, so he could kind of like stick his jab out there all night long and move and just kind of win on points. But now if Haney is, get hit like he got hit in all of his fights, by the way. He always get hit in the face, all of his fights. And here's something I want you to note. The reason why I say that Regis got a great chance of winning is because you got to remember, all the people that Haney has fought, he only got 50 knockouts, 50% knockout. That's nothing. And by the way, those knockouts happen early in his career. So it's not like he did it recently, right? And even then, it was with nobody's, really no one that you would know, no championship fights that he knocked someone out compared to Regis. Now if you look at Regis' resume, he's got 82% knockout rate, 82% knockout rate. Sorry, that's more than, way more than Haney. And matter of fact, way more than anything Haney gonna probably do tonight. So Haney was making statements that he's going to knock Regis out. I don't see how that's going to happen. Now, when you move up in weight, this is something that you should know. When you move up in weight, that doesn't equivalent to more power. When I say power, I'm talking about knockout power. I'm talking about a one-hit knockout. I'm not talking about hitting someone 1,000 times and then they drop to the floor. I'm talking about one-hit knockout power. That's just not going to happen, right? His weight is called, you got to be able to manage that weight. You got to be able to direct that energy with that weight. And it's only 5 pounds compared to the 135 he was at before. And keep in mind, after you do the weigh-in, you do what? You eat. You can eat now. You can drink now. So when they come into the actual arena, when they actually start to fight, they're already at a higher weight anyway. So these are things that people don't really realize in boxing. They just be talking, but you got to look at the numbers. You got to analyze it. And like I said before, that 5 pounds in weighing doesn't really mean nothing. It's just a number that they need to establish before the fight. But once they're in that ring, I want you to realize that they are actually weighing more. They literally weigh more when they come into that ring. So just something to keep in mind. I will say, honestly speaking, Haney did look much better, though. Coming in there at 140. Yep, definitely looked much better compared to his other previous fight where he looked like he was on crack. I mean, look like, I didn't say he is. I just say his face looked all sunk in and everything. Like, yo, what's going on here? But he definitely looked much better coming in. Now, that's once again, but that's not going to translate to more power. Either you have power or you don't have power. It's one of those things. Now, last thing I'm going to say is that here's the thing. the money. End of the day, yes, Haney is not selling out. Let's just get that out the way. Haney is not making a lot of money. I mean, he's making money, don't get me wrong, but he's not knocking out arenas. He's not selling out these arenas. And here's the facts. The facts are right here. It's not my opinion. It's right here. Yes, he got some seats selling. You can see for 500, some are for 441. You know, the highest price, like you see up here on your left-hand side, is like 953 plus. But the ones that would be the most expensive would be down here in ringside. We right here. And you can see that the highest cost of those seats is ranging from, you can see it's like $4,000 for 2 listings here, $4,382. And you got one for $2,450, and you got another one for $1,150. So you can see that these are probably going to be the highest price seats because obviously they're closer to the arena where all the action's happening. The seats on the outer side, they're going for $1,000. You got $800, a couple of $100, right? Nothing wrong with that. You got here $3,000. So you got some seats in the thousands, but it's nowhere near what was in Tanks. Like I told you before, Tanks seats was costing over $10,000, and then the resale value for some of the seats was over $20,000. I'm talking about resale. That means they will buy the tickets, resell them again, and get more money. I mean, that's crazy. Now, like I said, you can see these outer seats here going for a couple $100. By the way, we see the red at, those are considered best selling seats there, right? That's the ones that got labeled as that. Let me zoom out a little bit. You can see 400, 300, 300. So the seats are more than 57, right? So, cause some things are being misled a little bit. They say, well, Haney's selling seats for $57. But yes, that was the lower price seats. That is true. However, he do have seats that's costing, a couple of $1,000, over $4,000. See, we gotta be fair and honest about this. We can't be biased. If you're gonna give the news here on YouTube channels, we gotta be honest. We can't bring our bias in there, and we gotta show the whole picture. So once again, you got seats out here, $78, $124. These seats here, a couple hundred. So you got seats, all variety of prices like you have anywhere else in the world. Any other boxing match, right? Where the closer you get, the more they cost, or the better the seats are for visibility purposes. You're going to get, obviously it's going to cost you more. It's going to cost you a little bit more, right? If you blocked off from something inside the arena that can't give you good visual, then it's going to cost you more, right? So it's just something to keep in mind. So that's all I'm going to add to that now. Like I said, so the last thing, I know I said last before, but just to solidify that one more time, it's going to be an interesting fight. I think that you should see it. It's going to be on pay-per-view. If you're going to stay home and watch it there, it's going to be less than obviously spending a couple $100 at ringside and all that going there. Because those tickets at pay-per-view is about, I believe about $59 plus. So it's about $59 to watch it at home in the comfort on your nice couch, eating on chips and those steaks and hot wings and stuff like that, with bacon and rice. It's going to be it's going to be cheaper right now, especially if you're going to try and go watch it. So if you're going to go to the arena and watch it, all those low-cost seats, it looks like they're all sold out. Like I said, look over here to the left there. The lowest seat now, course seat, is $75, and that's somewhere all the way out here somewhere. I remember seeing $82. Yeah, it's somewhere all the way out here. Just look at all these seats here are all a couple $100. So this night, like I said, still got time. We'll come back to this. We'll take a look at this later on and see if he sold out. But keep in mind, guys, we have to be mindful that if you're going to give the news about boxing, we got to eliminate our personal perspective. Is Devin Haney, and Regis Prograis, did they sell out? Did they sell all their tickets? Answer is no. That's the straight answer. It's no. He did not sell all the tickets as of this time. The notion that now there was a statement that was said that they had to do more and this and that, but no, they didn't have to do more. This arena can hold over, I believe, I mean, they said 16,000, but it's way more than that. This arena holds way more than 16,000. I believe like 18,000 plus. So it's not a sellout. They didn't sell out the arena. Still got quite a bit of seats to sell. According to this, they still got about 208 seats to sell, and they range in price between $75 all the way up to about $4,000. So it's still there. But let's see what happens at the end of the night. Let's see what happens. I will say that they did a lot of buzz. If you gotta watch the FaceTime, the weigh-in and all that, they had a lot of excitement there. Haney was getting cheered a little bit, right? Regis was getting booed. Yes, Regis was getting booed. He's the underdog coming in. If you want to put your money down and bet on who you're going to bet on, you could try DraftKings. By the way, I'm not being sponsored by DraftKings, but I'm going to put some money down on DraftKings. I'm going to bet. I'm going to put money down on DraftKings. You got that right. And I'm not getting paid by them. But I'm going to bet on Regis, and we're going to see what happens. We're going to see who's right, who's wrong. A lot of the professionals are saying that Haney's going to win. But his father is saying that Haney's going to knock Regis out. That ain't going to happen. I just don't see that happening with a guy who's got a 50% knockout. You know, Haney's got a 50%. Think about this, a 50% knockout. He haven't knocked nobody out in 2021, 22, or 23. He haven't knocked nobody out. So, and anybody he knocked out was years ago. I think 2019 was the last time and it wasn't a knockout, it was a TKO. So, you know, I don't see that happen. Regis have had successful knockouts. I mean, look at the record. Just go look at it. By the way, you can look at that on Rec Box, and you can see Regis is knocking a lot of people out. You know, knock people out, and he's got TKOs, of course. But nevertheless, it's definitely an 82% knockout to a 50%. He's got a great chance of winning. Regis, that is. Haney could win by sticking that jab out all night long, moving all night long, get close, clinch, keeping the distance between Regis. He can do that, but keep in mind, he tried to do that before, even with his past fights, and he was able to still get hit in the face, because he will get hit. You talking about 12 rounds? Yo, listen, you talking about 12 rounds. He's gonna get hit. He definitely gonna get hit, and Regis is right about that. The question is, when he get hit, how is Haney going to take it? That's the question. Now, we know that Haney ain't a knockout artist. So if he can't threaten Regis, it's like war. If you can't threaten your opponent, if your technology is not there, then you're not knocking him out. Haney don't have the technology, right? I mean, he got the skills. He's got the fleet, but the fleet doesn't have the technology to knock Regis out, or matter of fact, probably anybody out. You don't have the fleet doesn't have the technology. He does not. I say this over and over. He don't have it. Regis could knock him out. The question is, will he have the opportunity to? If Danny, I'm sorry, Danny, because this is not edit, by the way. We're doing straight, no editing needed. We're doing straight out live. If Haney allow Regis to hit on him, like he did, like his last fight, his opponent did to him, he got a great chance of hurting Haney, where he ain't gonna be able to move a lot, and then Regis will get the win. This is all I gotta say. This is Four Faces, but you know what? We're gonna find out the truth in a couple of hours. We'll come back. Until next time, you know what? We'll talk.